Hey guys, I'm Sara Slick. I'm with PerfecPress HTV, and today we're going to go over four-color printing. Yeah, four-color printing is printing with Cmyk. Fun fact. Instead of RGB, those are the two different color formats that you work with in printing processes.
Sarah, what does Cmyk stand for?
Cmyk stands for cyan, yellow, magenta,
And black.
key. That's what the K stands for, which means black, because that's a key file, I guess, part of the, I forget why it's called key. Do you remember? Anyway, let's see, I have everything set up today. I guess I'll go over what we're going to go over. So the first thing that I'm going to start off with this morning, still the morning, is our solvent print. It functions a lot like our PerfecPress HTV. So if you buy one of these in our store, it's not much of a transition in how to figure out how to use it. The next one that I'm going to go over is our 3G Jet Opaque. And so there is a difference between our inkjet printables and our solvent printables. The inkjet printables you can do on your own inkjet printers, while solvent printing is a whole different process that involves larger format printers. And if you've come into our shop and you've looked behind the front counters, those large printers behind us are solvent printers. I'm trying to remember all the details of the solvent printing, because it is so it's eco-solvent, and it's different processes. It's an alcohol ink-based printing process, and heating the product is a part of said printing process, where the ink itself is heated up and the vinyl itself is heated up in the printing process to then make a transferable image, and the ink or the alcohol that's in the ink eventually evaporates due to the heat that is used in the printing. And inkjet is not nearly as complicated as that. It's as simple as ink being lain onto a matrix. The third one that we're going to go over today is Jet Pro SS. And so this one is for light garments only, but it has a similar look to it as sublimation, and works similarly, but not quite. It's not sublimation at all whatsoever. It's still an inkjet process. So it's just the type of inks that are used are different. But it does have a similar feel in the sense that when you print this on a shirt, you don't feel like a layer of anything on it. Like, for example, like this shirt that I'm wearing today is a Jet Pro SS shirt that I made of my cat.
And it works on cotton. That's the big difference.
That's the main thing about all of these, is that all of these work on cotton. But I'm going to get into that as I work with everything. Okay, so let's check if our heat press is up to temperature. It is. And so, let me get this chair out of the way. So with our solvent prints, move all this. With our solvent print, it's going to function similarly to HTV, where you, it's already cut for you, but you have to weed it when you're using it. So I'm just going to go ahead and weed this right now. And I kind of, not necessarily the most delicate when it comes to weeding. There we go. Weeded product. I'm going to use Rhinestone transfer tape. We do have two different types of transfer tape. We have Rhinestone and TTD mask when it comes to this kind of transfer. TTD mask is a little bit more gentler than the Rhinestone transfer tape, and you're going to use that on your 3G Jet Opaque and your Jet Pro Soft. Oh, wait, yeah, excuse me. Jet Pro doesn't need transfer tape because you're mirroring the image. You got a squeegee around you anywhere? There we go. Transfer tape on there. I'm just going to peel it off. This part can be kind of frustrating for some people, so you do need to express a bit of patience with this part.
Sometimes it's easier if you put it face down and peel the liner away from it.
That is fantastic. Because a lot of times what'll happen when I'm doing this is I'll start getting frustrated because the rhinestone transfer tape will start like sticking to other pieces of the rhinestone transfer tape and you're trying to, it's just a mess. So thank you, Winston. So the heat for this transfer is going to be 300. I do have my heat press set a little warmer, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Just don't go like 50 degrees warmer. Like 300, up to like 320, 325, you're fine. Over that, you can start to damage it or cause it to get glossy.
Yeah.
So don't go higher than like 325.
Okie dokie. I got it. I got it. I got it. It's on there. What color shirt do I want to use? What do you think? Orange or gray?
Let's do orange on this one.
Okie dokie. I'm laying my t-shirt on there. I'm going to double check my pressure just to make sure it's right. Yeah.
Your time's too long.
Let's see. What is the time on there? Oh, that is for a minute.
You need 15 seconds.
Lower that down. Okay. Let's just double check that that is at the correct 15 seconds. It's There we go. And with doing that, I got a little pre-press on my t-shirt. And I'm just gonna lay this bad boy on there.
You don't really need to cover it because nothing else is exposed.
Yeah. And with the way that the solvent inks work too, you're not running a risk of, I mean, transfer tape clearly doesn't like cause this to happen, but you don't run the risk of getting any sort of ink on the top part of, on the top platen. Okay, let's press this baby. Yeah, you shouldn't. This press really makes me self-conscious of the weights that I pull at the gym, because this is really hard to close. And like, I'm going to the gym thinking that I'm doing good.
So that's a hot peel?
Yes, this is a hot peel. It's coming off nicely. I'm gonna do a little double press just to make sure. And with that, I am gonna use some silicone just in case.
You only need to do that for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. There we go. Looks nice. Feels good.
That's a cool transfer, man.
All right. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff made that.
Our in-house graphic designer made this design. It's fun. I like it.
So now, let's see the difference on it with the inkjet. So same transfer design, but you're going to do it with the inkjet 3G.
Here we go. And so with the 3G, I'm going to kind of just like gently weed around it a little bit just to pull it up, like kind of pull it up from the backing a little. So
yeah,
then
weed out all the excess, and then you want to kind of get underneath it to kind of like pre-release it.
yeah.
And the reason for that is because when the vinyl cutter cuts it, it kind of makes like a weird seal on it. So like we'll kind of seal the edges, so you kind of have to help it pre-release before you put the tape on it, or it'll have a hard time lifting it.
I need to change the temperature of my press real quick.
Yeah, so this transfers 350 for 30 seconds. So you can hold down the button.
Can you? I mean, yeah, you can. Okay, there we go. Now it's heating up. I'm going to write down some information on this whiteboard about the solvent prints just to make sure that everybody, because I know that a lot of this can be like hard to process, a lot of information. So let's do solvent HTV. Solvent HTV. So let's start off with the fact that it needs to be pressed at 300 degrees for 15 seconds, like our PerfecPress. You do need to use Rhinestone transfer tape, which we sell.
Or if they have like the backing of like a used piece of vinyl, that can usually lift it and press with that. If you like some reason forgot.
Yeah. Let's see, what else do I have on here? Ah, yes, it is a print cut process. So you do have to print it out first and then cut it with your cutter.
So if they're buying a pre-made one from us, it's already print and cut for them.
Yep. Y'all don't necessarily have to worry about things like not mirroring it or anything like that, since we're the ones who like make this product. This product can go on light and dark garments. And can it go on many other materials besides cotton, or is it just best to stick with cotton?
It can go on cotton, polycon blends, polyester. It'll go on any common t-shirt type. I've even stuck it on nylon.
Really? How'd it go on nylon?
Fine.
Fine. Is it stretchy?
No.
Hmm.
It was on like a nylon jacket, like a windbreaker.
Okay. That sounds nice. Let's see. We're almost up to temperature. We're at 335. And just going to reiterate that it is not a sublimation process. This is not a sublimation process. This is a totally different process from sublimation, from the inkjet printables. It is most commonly in print shops like as big as ours. It's large format printing. If it's something that you're thinking about getting into, I think a roll-in printer starts off at $8,000. So It is much different than the other processes that I'm going over today.
For solvent transfers,
Yes.
you're about to press a inkjet transfer next.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got any questions yet? Anyone saying what's up?
No questions yet.
Get a lot of viewers?
Not many viewers yet.
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday, everybody.
I'm gonna try and sip this coffee again. Last time I did, it was really hot. Like it hurt real bad. It still kind of hurts. Okay.
You're at temperature.
Yes, we are. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this up just a little bit, go around the rim of everything, just rim it a little, and then when I apply the transfer tape, I am going to squeegee it a good bit. The tool that I'm using is also something that we sell on our website. It looks like a dentist tool, but it's really good for weeding.
And I like how when you're doing this, the curved one makes it easier to sort of break that seal around the 3G paper.
Yes. It is unfortunate though that the wooden ones have to be discontinued.
Yeah. The 3G, one thing that's a little tricky with it is if you're doing a bunch of like separate letters. Like this design's easy because it's all one piece.
Yeah.
But if it was something with a bunch of separate pieces, make it a good bit harder.
Very true. And I'm going to lay it down. I lay down transfer tape like this because there's less likely for certain air bubbles that just might, it just causes for a more like flush, easier squeegeeing. And I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to squeegee the back side too, just to make sure that it is fully adhered to the rhinestone tape. I forgot that I was supposed to use TTD mask, so we'll see how this goes.
So rhinestone tape's normally a little bit too aggressive for it, but looks like it's working.
Yeah, it's probably because I already used it once, so that like little level, oh, nope, we got a little paper ripping. Luckily, it's not our transfer that's getting caught, but that's why you use the TTD mask and not the rhinestone tape. Yay.
Now that can happen with TTD mask. I've seen it happen and it's happened to me. It's less likely with TTD mask, but if it does happen, luckily that part won't really stick to the shirt.
Yeah, I know.
Or you can take some scissors to it and cut it away, or X-Acto.
I highly doubt it'll stick to the shirt. Move this over here. Okie dokie. Give me a little gray shirt. Gonna do a little pre-press on that. Okie dokie, good to go. I'm gonna take this and lay it down. Just a reminder, this process is at a temperature, oop, that's a little lopsided, at a temperature of 350 for 30 seconds. And before I do this, I'm going to double check that my time is correct. There we go. And we're ready to go. I'm going to press it down. making sure that everything's set the way it's supposed to be.
So one thing with 3G, it scratches really easily before it's heat pressed, but
It
after
does.
it's heat pressed, it kind of like cures it and it keeps it from getting scratched and lasts a really long time.
Yep.
Like I got a shirt that's probably 3 years old with that stuff, and I wear it once a week, and it still looks good. And I don't do anything special for the washing it. So don't peel it right away. Give it about like 5-10 seconds before you peel away 3G.
Let's hope this is cooled down enough.
That's not a cold peel.
Oop.
Letitia Anderson says, you know you can loosen up the heat press and not be struggling so hard with it.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but that doesn't make it the right pressure.
You don't need it as heavy as you got it. You can pull it back a little.
Was the last thing that we did on this sublimation? But even then, that doesn't need high pressure. I wonder why the pressure is so high on this thing.
I will say for the Inkjet white garment paper, that works better with a really high pressure. Is it sticking good?
Oh, yeah.
Just the rhinestone tape a little bit too much?
Just a little, but it's not ruining the image.
Good.
There we go. I'm going to make sure I'm not going to use this on the next one.
Luckily the next one you don't need to.
Yeah, I know. There we go. Another one.
Switch camera.
So you can kind of tell right there that because I accidentally used the rhinestone. Oh, my mic. That I accidentally used the rhinestone tape. It kind of messed up the face of the dog. But it's like it's not, you got to be really close to the shirt to be able to tell. But I think it's just because it was stretching the shirt out while I was taking the tape off.
ATO.
Okie dokie. Let's change heat press temp again. So for the soft stretch, we're going to go up to 375. And keep it at 30 seconds. My marker, where'd it go? There it is. Okay, so for the 3G, sorry for my handwriting, we did it at 350 degrees for 30 seconds. I did not use the TTD mask, but we saw what happens when you use the rhinestone transfer tape instead. This is also a print cut process. And you're definitely going to want to make sure that you loosen what you cut off of the backing sheet just to make it easier to transfer it onto the shirt. This is also a product that can go on light and dark garments.
One thing that can happen to 3G is if you have a shirt that doesn't have a stable dye on it, like a shirt that you press and it changes color, or a sublimation based dyed shirt, it can bleed into 3G pretty easily.
Ooh, that sounds messy.
Yeah, so like if it's like a bright red shirt that is polyester based, there's a high chance that red could bleed into any white or light colored areas on 3G. It's the only downside.
Interesting. You can use 3G to sublimate on dark cotton garments. It's a pretty affordable way to go about sublimation that way, and it works the same exact way that I just showed you. You print it out, you cut it, you use transfer tape, and you apply it to your cotton shirt.
Yeah, it's my favorite
Yeah.
sublimation for dark garment transfer. I like it better than Size or Easy Subli. Like, there's no benefit really of printing on it with sublimation ink, but it does what it does. It works, and it's cheaper than any of the other sublimation on dark garment transfers, and feels and looks better to me, and it's easier to use. So personally, I like it a lot. And sublimation printers, if you have like a Sawgrass, that prints usually higher quality than most cheaper Epsons and stuff.
Yep. But if it's one of those things where at your business you have a like a nice sublimation printer and a nice inkjet printer, then you can potentially save money by just using this 3G product on t-shirts rather than using the sublimation ink. It's not much of a price difference, but you know, if you're running a business, try to keep your budget intact.
Keep the cost low.
Oh yeah.
You hot it.
Oh yeah, it's very hot. Okay, so for the Jet Pro Soft, you do need to weed it, but you don't need any transfer tape with this. Did you cut through the paper? Mm-hmm. It's a little rough, but I'm getting it.
There you go.
Gentle hands.
So yeah, you kind of cut it so you can pretty much easy rip it away. That's the best way to do it to make it look the cleanest.
What are the cut settings for this?
I set it as the same as I do sign vinyl.
Oh, interesting.
So on a Graphtec, that's a force of like a 10.
Right. Oops. Well, top of that building's not getting a little pointy thing.
Oh no.
So I think next time we should use a
Maybe a little sharper blade.
sharper blade, maybe just like a little higher
Force.
force, yeah. This is why I
She was
always...
asking, how about when you wash the t-shirts, does it hold up well on the t-shirts?
There you go. That's why I wear this shirt. This is what it looks like.
Actually really great.
I know. This is after almost 9 months of washes, and I wear this to the gym all the time. I actually wear this shirt at least once a week. So, yeah. I like the way it fades personally. This is very comfortable, and it's also very soft on the shirt.
3G will feel better after the first like 5 washes. It's like softens up after a little while.
It does.
And then Soft Stretch, the white garment one, feels really great after a few washes. It'll slightly fade
It will.
and kind of fuzzy up a little bit, but kind of like how even like a screen print shirt will. But I have shirts made with Soft Stretch that are old now, since I started here, like 5-6 years old, and they still hold up and look fine. They hold up in the wash, and I don't do anything special. Like I wash them like a bachelor washes his clothes. I just throw it in. It is not sublimation. It is inkjet transfer. So just a normal home office printer will do this kind of printing. Just with the special paper.
Please do not try to sublimate with this. If you're going to sublimate, get our Texar print, not this.
So not to confuse you, but you can print on this with sublimation paper or ink if you want
Yes.
to. There's no benefit, but you can do that. If you, for some reason, wanted to sublimate on cotton, this is a way to kind of do that. It's technically you're just printing on this transfer, and the ink isn't really doing much special, but if you wanted to, you could print with sublimation ink on it, and it works. It just doesn't have any real benefit.
I'm going to always suggest that if you're going to try and do sublimation alternatives, really, honestly, truly just stick to the 3G. I'm just getting all the little excess pieces off of here right now. Okay, this is generally all right. Here we go. This is what it looks like. I'll get my little white shirt because this can only go on light garments.
You'll work on grays and light pinks and stuff, just light colors.
Yeah, and like with that too, you just have to understand the like color of the dye in the shirt and like understand just certain aspects of color theory on how that's going to affect the ink that you have printed out on here. I'm going to do a little pre-press, flatten out this shirt. And just in case, just to make sure, since this is a public press, I'm going to use a silicone sheet just to make sure. And then I'm going to press for 30 seconds.
So that's an immediate hot peel. Hot, hot, hot.
Yep, and then afterwards I'm going to take the shirt and I'm going to stretch a little and then I'm going to do a final press.
Letitia's asking, how large can you print the image? So you're limited to 11 by 17 in these papers. If you're cutting it out though, you want to give yourself about an inch of space all the way around it. So really like a 10 by 16 inch design.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and stretch it.
Give it that stretch. So when you're stretching it, you're kind of breaking the print from the fibers so it feels softer and not as stiff. It's best to do it while it's still hot and then press it a second time to kind of lay everything back down.
Just for safety, I'm going to use a silicone sheet. Just keeps it flat and clean. And the second press doesn't need to be 30 seconds, right?
No, it's like 5 to 10.
Yeah. And there we go. There it is on the soft stretch. Looks really good. It's very soft. It is kind of sticky still just from being hot. But
That's great.
looks good. Let me write down the specs for that real quick so everybody has it. And there's the 3 shirts that we printed on all the different materials. The press that I used today was a Hotronix Max 15 by 15. It is $1,000, which is actually pretty affordable. I know some people might think that it's not, but it's pretty affordable for a heat press. And when you buy it, you do get 5 free Teflon pillows. Okay, Jet Pro SS. So, for the Jet Pro, it is 375 degrees for 30 seconds. No transfer tape. No transfer tape. It is also a print cut, so you do need a cutter for this process. And it is light garments only.
Ooh, you should include it's mirrored.
Ah, yes. So this is a process where, so for the 3G, you don't have to mirror those images. It's, the way I try to explain like cutting things to people is, which like seems to help, is that It's more like signed vinyl, where you take the color up and you cut, or the paper side up and you cut. And so you don't have to mirror the image. But then with the Jet Pro SS, you do have to mirror the image because you are not flipping the matrix at all. Or you do have to mirror it because you are flipping the matrix that you're using to transfer the image.
Flipping the Matrix sounds like the Matrix sequel we never got.
I know, right? That's funny. It's actually one of my favorite words that is involved in printing is the matrices and the matrix.
Flipping the Matrix.
I'm trying to think if I have all the information that would help. All of these are not necessarily products for sublimation, but can be used for sublimation. But the way to think about that too is just like understand that sublimation is just a different type of ink than inkjet, and it's just a pricier ink. So that's mostly just the sacrifice there is what kind of ink you want to use with that. I feel like I spelled mirrored wrong, but it's okay. Yeah? Is it just like another 30-minute session, or did we go a little longer this time?
We're at 37 minutes.
No questions? Please. Please ask
Any
questions.
last minute questions, y'all? We'll be happy to answer them.
These are all in cotton. The 3G apparently can go on nylon. That's fun.
It doesn't last that long,
I wouldn't think so.
but like nylon jackets, you don't wash that much. So as long as you don't wash it too much, it should last pretty well.
Ooh, but here's a plug. For the nylon stuff, you can get a custom print done that's on a turbo print.
Absolutely.
That is a stretchable material.
Turbo print's great.
It is. It is. It's fun. It feels just like our solvent print, but is way more stretchable and can go on a lot of active wear.
Yeah,
It can be
turbo
a,
is just a solvent that's stretchy and lower temp, lower time.
You got any fun facts about solvent printing? I know you gave me a little rundown, but you got any more fun facts?
Solvent printing was first invented in 1843.
Wait, are you serious? Like you got these kinds of fun facts?
That's not true at all.
Oh. I wouldn't think so anyway. I mean, lithography wasn't invented until like the 1900s, I think, so. I wouldn't imagine solvent printing would be something around that time.
You know, it was the turn of the century and they discovered the mighty brand Roland how to print. Oh,
Is there like a solvent UV printing? Is that similar?
yeah, so there's UV printing and there's latex printing. So UV printing cures it almost instantly with UV light. Solvent printing is curing it with heat. And then latex printing also cures with heat, but it's shooting out like a latex based ink.
And with the
UV
latex one, that's where you have like a plastic backing that you can just print directly onto, right? The image.
Sometimes, yeah. In UV printing, you can do like kind of weird three-dimensional stuff if you have a flatbed one.
Ooh.
UV printing is actually probably the future of that sort of vinyl printing. I can see that being.
I believe it.
things
Well,
move.
because also too with the UV printing, you don't just use it for vinyl, right? You can use it for like giant
You can print
signs on like
a ton of
anything.
different stuff with UV printing.
Yeah. It's pretty much just as long as the surface is flat, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
That's fun.
Like, you can do some really cool stuff with UV printing. And inkjet printing, that's been around forever. Inkjet is Aquarius-based printing, so liquid-based. A good thing to keep in mind when you're doing inkjet printing is you want good quality inks. Like, knockoff brand inks, while they're fine for printing documents, for printing images and stuff, they tend to look really blotchy.
So true.
And that's because what they do is they take a little bit of pigment and then use water to basically stretch it. And those inks don't last nearly as long as like a good quality OEM ink or name manufacturer, name brand ink.
It also sucks because those cheap inks take way longer to dry.
Yeah, way longer.
Like it's kind of crazy
how
how much longer it takes. It's really sucks. So then like it's super easy to like print out an image and then like instantaneously like smudge it, or even like walk away for even like 10 minutes and still like smudge it and get like ink all over your hands. It's very annoying.
That's why I don't like the Sizer Easy Subly printing directly to it. It's very easy to smudge.
I noticed that. I noticed that it makes the image like bleed a lot.
Yeah. All right. Any last minute questions or anything, y'all?
Oh, I got another printer that we should probably mention. There's a difference between
What kind of printer, Sarah?
inkjet versus laser.
Inkjet versus laser printer. Do you know the difference, Sarah?
I want to say one is used with a Xerox powder that is then diluted, and then the other one is actually, like you said, like a water-based ink.
Yeah. Yep, a powder toner. So laser prints print faster than inkjet prints, but the problem about laser prints is they don't hold up with soap and water. So laser print tends not to last nearly as long as inkjet prints. I like the speed that you can print laser prints with, but they don't last as long and don't look as good usually.
Yeah, I literally only use laser prints for if I'm doing a screen print and I don't have a transparency printer. That's literally the only reason. That's how you get a lot of DIY screen printing.
Like you can laser printers. There's cool transfers out there. Like there's the Forever transfers. Those are really cool, but they require a white toner laser printer.
Oh, those
get
are
pretty
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to do some fun like white toner stuff or experiment with like toner type projects, and then realize that getting a printer like that is
Like
pricey.
Maybe you can get one for like $800.
Yeah.
But like most of them are like 4,000.
Yep. Yeah, because I was wanting to help a friend out with making like tape covers or something like that, and nope, not gonna fork out $800 for that project. But then I looked into how to like gold leaf things, and that looks fun.
That's easy. You just need black laser print for that.
Yep, looks pretty fun.
You can do all sorts of metallics that way. All right. Well, thanks y'all for tuning in. Next week, I don't know what we're going to do next week.
Tell us what you want to see.
Yeah. So comment on the video for what you want to see next week. Edited version of this video will be available tonight on YouTube. Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in.
I know a lot of people are asking about the pens and epoxy stuff that I've been doing, but I don't think that's something that I can do as like a live video, so it might end up having to be a pre-recorded, nice little edited little ditty.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
See you fine folks later.
Have a good one.